Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Sorry it took so long. I have a lot to catch you guys up on. It's kind of redundant, but same stuff. If you catch me looking down, I'm looking at my phone so that I can remember the things that I wanted to talk about. Clearly I'm in another new space. Let's just address, okay, first of all, we're going to talk about this whole transitional period that we've been in that has taken a little longer than I anticipated. We're going to address the elephant in the room, which is the laser electrolysis situation, which isn't going as planned. And we're going to talk about like the supplements that I was taking that I talked about in the last video, or maybe 2 videos ago, 1 or 2 videos ago. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about next steps moving forward, and yeah, so let me just catch you guys up on what's even going on in the first place. So clearly I'm in a new space, even from the last space from when we moved from Vegas. Our friend Deanna, if you remember her from Vlogmas, she bought a house. So the first house that we were living in when we moved here, we were renting that together. Excuse me. We were renting that together. It was always meant to be temporary. It was kind of a quick fix because she had to start her job really quickly. That was that house that you saw in the last maybe 2 or 3 videos. Actually, I want to say I might have done 4 videos in that house, but I didn't really show you guys the house because it was small. So our space was always cluttered because we had way more stuff than we had space. So you guys didn't see much of that house, but yeah, that's where I was in those videos. Here, she actually just bought a house, and we are intending to buy a house as well. So we were staying with her while we shopped around for the house that we intend to buy. She bought a beautiful house. This house, or this room, is basically empty. I've turned it into my office because I started a new job. I'll talk about that in a second. But let me show you guys the room. It's not much to see because it's pretty empty besides my desk, but this has been my workspace since I've been here. So yeah, as you can see behind me, this is literally just bare nothing. And then over here, we've got my desk, a couple windows. There's a door to the room. This is the lighting situation right now because this room does not get a lot of natural light. So I have to get creative with some daylight bulbs, and it's not the best lighting situation, but I mean, it works, right? It's doing something for me right now. But yeah, that's what I'm working with. So anyways, she bought a house. So yeah, we've been in this house for about a month. Ty and I were looking for a house to buy. We found a house that we absolutely loved, you guys. I'm still a little bit heartbroken about it. We went to the open house. At the time, we knew we couldn't get it because we weren't working yet at all. So we knew we couldn't get the house yet. We were just looking around at different areas and seeing what we liked, what we didn't like, and stuff like that. But we fell in love with this house, and I just kind of tried to block it out of my mind. And then it was under contract, and then all of a sudden, it fell. It fell through. We didn't know why. The buyers backed out. Of course, that's always a little fishy, but again, we love this house, so we figured we'd try, right? So we get our realtor, we try to get this house, and everything seems to be going well for the most part. We were just waiting to get the inspection report back because clearly someone had already gotten the inspection when they were under contract. So there was already an inspection done on the house. So we were waiting to get that, but it took a while. Made us a little bit more hesitant, but again, still love this house. We couldn't see anything visibly wrong with the house, but of course that's what the inspection is for, right? So we finally get the inspection report, and it's nothing crazy. The sellers were fixing a good majority of the stuff that popped up in the inspection report, but there were just some foundational issues and some moisture issues that we were like, it's not even worth it. Especially the housing market is still crazy right now. So if that was going to be our forever home, you know, we were willing to spend the money, but it just wasn't the right time. It didn't feel right. It felt rushed. It felt kind of pressured, not pressured, but what's the word I'm looking for? Forced. That's the word. We didn't want it to feel forced. We knew that if it was the house, things would work out the way that they were supposed to work out. And this was just giving us a lot of time has gone by. There's a lot of information coming in little bits at a time that we aren't aware of. And, you know, it has to be somewhat significant for the last buyers to have backed out at the very last minute, especially when you're putting due diligence in and earnest money and all this other stuff. It says a lot. So we ended up deciding to wait to buy a house because there's just not a lot of houses on the market right now where we want to be or where we want to buy. And the ones that are in the areas that we want to buy are significantly overpriced still. So we're gonna wait for the housing market to cool down a little bit. The good thing is we've got our finances and our credit in order so that when we are ready, it should be a fairly easy process, hopefully. So within this next year, we're going to still look at houses here and there, but we're not in a rush to buy a house. We're going to take our time. And with that being said, we got an apartment. So we are moving again. You're going to see another space again. We're moving into an apartment in a few weeks, which is kind of exciting because we've actually never lived in an apartment before. Ty and I have been together for 11 years, fresh out of high school, and we didn't start living together. We've lived together for over 7 years, well, pretty much 7 years. As long as we've been married, we've lived together. And we've never lived in an apartment. We've always lived in a house or a townhouse. So I'm kind of excited to live in the apartment and to have the amenities of the apartment. I think that's gonna be really nice. It is different. It's gonna be a much smaller space than what we're used to, but as far as how we're living right now in her house, it's going to be fairly the same amount of space. So it's not bad. And I think it's gonna be kind of fun. I think it'll be nice to downsize for a little while and have things be a little bit more simple. It's a really nice apartment. They have really great amenities. And we're paying extra for the valet trash. Y'all, we get to just sit the trash outside the door. You don't gotta take the bins down to the end of the driveway. You get to just put the trash outside of your door and someone comes and picks it up. I think that's gonna spoil us a little bit, but in the meantime, we are going to look for our house while we're in this apartment, but we've got the apartment just for living purposes for us to be in our own space again. There's nothing like being in your own space. So yeah, that's what's going on as far as, I'm sorry if you can hear cars. There's literally a highway right back here, like literally right where this window was that I showed you guys. It's right there. So I'm sorry if you guys can hear noise. But yeah, that's it for like updates as far as living arrangements and things like that and where I've been. This transitional period has taken a lot longer than I expected, and I'm so sorry. Had I known it was going to be this long, you know what? I didn't know. We didn't know what we were doing and how we were doing it. We were kind of going with the flow, and because of that, I should have been kind of documenting that a little bit more. It's just been so busy, you guys, and you guys know that I also was very stressed. Not like crazy stressed, but I had a lot of anxiety about work. I had a lot of anxiety as far as like back in Vegas and coming back here. It's subsided a bit at first, but honestly at this point now, you guys, my anxiety is at an all-time low. Like, I feel so good. I feel calm. I feel level, and I can't pinpoint what it is. So if you guys have been watching me, I know some of you have been watching me for longer than others. It's crazy to think that I've been doing YouTube for like over a year because it's just been kind of like a hobby, but I've been doing this for a long time now. So some of you guys have been watching me for a while, and you guys know that my anxiety has been up and down, especially since COVID, and I started to have anxiety about working, and I just had a couple like little traumatic experience as far as working through COVID and then finding another job that I thought was going to be better, but The environment, it wasn't a bad working environment. It was a very great company, but what I was doing was very nerve-wracking. I was at a bank, for reference, and being enclosed and people wearing masks and talking about bank robberies. It was overwhelming for me, and my anxiety was like super duper high. And because of that, I didn't work for over a year. And I knew that I needed to work again. This was not going to be an end-all be-all that I just get to be a stay-at-home housewife for the rest of my life. And that was never something I intended to do by any means. I did not plan on not working for that long. Let's round of applause for him, because he definitely has been super supportive, super helpful. And at a time when I was really low, he had to take the burden of a lot of things that, you know, made things stressful for him, but he had to be the 80% when I was being 20. So it feels really good to be in a space now where I can put forth that effort again, and I feel level-headed and balanced and calm and relaxed and sure, and I'm not second guessing everything that I'm doing. So I finally got a job that I actually love. That is so relieving to say. And I had like the slightest bit of anxiety right at the very beginning when I got the first email to say, hey, we want to do an introductory call with you. My heart started beating a little fast. I was like, oh crap, here it goes. Like, it's happening. This thing is happening. And I just had to kind of like coach myself through it, to be very honest. But once the ball started rolling, I got really, really calm. And this was around the same time. I can't think of any other thing that has brought me to this point as far as what I've done differently. But you guys, hold on. I know I showed this to you guys already. I think this was it. So focus, not on me. So this is the ALANI New Balance Powder that I showed you guys a couple videos ago. And no, this is not sponsored. I have nothing to do with them. I spent my own money on this, and it's almost gone. You guys can see how low it is. It's almost gone. I need to go get another one, and I literally haven't gotten another one yet because it's kind of expensive. But I can't think of another word to describe how I feel besides balanced. And this is what this literally claims to do. So I'm not saying that it 100% was this, because how would I really know? But it definitely did something. And I told you guys from the beginning that I felt my mood change. I was in a better mood. I was a little bit happier. I just felt myself waking up in a better spirit. I don't know. But once I started getting into this job and realized, like, my first day was not stressful. I was not anxious. I didn't feel like I was gonna throw up or that my stomach hurt or anything. I have been so calm. And if this did that, 100% I'm recommending it to every single one of you. And I know that a lot of people that talk about PCOS online talk about taking myo-inositol, and this has it in it. So I don't know how any of this stuff works. I'm going through this journey the same way you are, sis, and all I can say is I think this did it for me, and I'm going to keep taking it. I'm going to keep purchasing it, because even though it's expensive, it's doing something for me over here, and I ain't blocking my blessings. So yeah, that is how that's been going. Work is going great. I'm really happy with my job. You see, I have a desk over here because I get to work from home a couple days a week. It's just, I feel super duper blessed. And I'm just grateful to feel like myself again. Ooh, didn't expect that one. Hold on. I wasn't expecting that. Something about saying things out loud really pulls things out of you. But hold on, let me go get some tissues, because this ain't working. Anyways, I feel like myself again, and that is truly an immeasurable feeling. Like, you can't put a price on that. It's truly, truly priceless. So that's something that I'm going to keep up with. There is another product that I am going to be trying out for you guys in a couple of weeks. So once I start trying that out, I will let you guys know how that goes. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is or what it does until I try it myself and see if it works. But yeah, that's it for that. Next, I know you guys are waiting to hear about the hair, the laser, the electrolysis journey, and how that's been going. And honestly, it hasn't. It hasn't. It has not been going at all. You guys already know that we got back here late April, and I kind of was a little bit lazy with setting up an appointment. I took longer than I should have to start looking to make an appointment, and then by the time I actually made the appointment, it was a couple weeks out. So in my video on how to find a place to go get electrolysis, how to find one near you, and what you should be looking for, I think I told you guys that I was planning to go to Corelace because they offered both electrolysis and laser as a combination treatment. So I really liked that, and when I called, or when I set my appointment online, it was for like three weeks out. That was the earliest convenience, so I had already waited like 3 weeks to go. So I finally go, and I get my consultation, and she's like, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't have a laser for your skin tone. Which sucks, really, really sucks. I'm putting this out there though, because if you are in this area and you've looked into Corelace because of me, I'm gonna save you some time from driving over there and getting your consultation, because I'm not that dark. Like, obviously I'm black, but I don't think but when I think about lasers and skin tones, because of what I've seen as far as like the little at-home IPL lasers, that's the only frame of reference that I have, that's the only knowledge that I have. I'm normally right on the cusp of being too dark or being passable for these IPL lasers. And of course, actual laser hair removal is different. It is not the same as an at-home IPL laser, so I don't want to confuse you guys or mix those two things up. But because that's the frame of reference that I had, I don't think I even considered the thought that there would be a laser that wouldn't work for me, or there wouldn't be a setting on the laser that would be workable for my skin tone. And let's just call it what it is. That's a very privileged thought, right? I never thought that I would be too dark for a laser, because I feel like we're evolved enough, or yeah, we've technologically evolved so much that there are lasers available for our skin tones. And that's all a true statement. The problem is she just didn't have that. That's essentially all it was. She didn't have a laser that was going to be good for me, and she was letting me know that even if she tried it, she wouldn't feel comfortable trying to adjust it enough to make it work, because she wasn't going to be 100% sure. And so I appreciate her for telling me that and letting me know, but it was kind of a bummer because now I've wasted my time. Like, I scheduled a consultation and 15 minutes of laser. So not only was I expecting to talk to her, let her know what was going on, how long I've been getting laser and electrolysis and all of these things, but I was also planning on getting laser that day. And so that did not happen. But she did recommend me to another place, and that other place was the Elite Laser Spa or whatever. I know I talked about it in the other video. I was in between those two places. She recommended me to go there because they have multiple lasers. They will have a laser for my skin tone. So I called them maybe a week later, because I had the business card and I kind of just forgot. And they don't have an appointment available for me until late October. Late October. So by the time I get there, it is going to be April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months. 7 months without laser. Thankfully, it's not looking bad. It's still sparse, it's still thin. I have more hair, and I'll do a close-up for you guys in a second. I have a little bit more hair like under my sideburns and under my ear. That's where I tend to get more, it's just a little bit fuller in those areas. But as far as under here, it's very sparse and it's very thin. So it's nothing crazy. And for me to have been pretty much shaving the past 4 something months, because I didn't have to shave immediately. I got laser before I left. So for the first 2 months being back, I was good. As it started to grow back, I had to start shaving here and there. And it really is not too crazy, thankfully. I am starting to get to the point where I'm getting a couple ingrown hairs here and there. So I've had to combat that. And my face has been breaking out, but that's my fault. That is my fault. I hadn't been really strict on my skincare routine. So my skin is doing better now. I've been doing my nighttime routine more regularly before bed. So we're getting better. We don't want to backtrack on our progress. Getting back on top of my stuff as far as my skincare routine, and I'll get back on my laser schedule, electrolysis schedule come October. And I'm so sorry that I am this person, you guys. But anyways, if you were looking into getting Corelace, keep in mind that if you are close to my skin tone or darker, it might not be the best place for you to go as far as laser. You can definitely still go for electrolysis. Electrolysis does not care what skin tone you are. But for laser, that's not going to be the place for you to go. Once I get to the other place, I will let you guys know how I like it. Those were my top 2 places to go. So if that doesn't work out, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do, because I really don't want to end up doing like Ideal Image or Milan Laser or any of those like franchise laser spas. I really truly do not want to do that. Worst case scenario is I have to drive a little bit further to find someone else to do it every couple of months. But yeah, I'm not, hopefully it works out. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are being healthy. I hope you guys are managing your PCOS symptoms and starting to feel better, because honestly, this is the best that I've felt in a really long time. And I don't even know like what else to say to that. This is the best I've felt in a really long time, point blank period. That is that. That's everything that I wanted to update. That's everything that I wanted to update you guys on. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Thank you for hearing me out, listening to me talk and ramble, because some of these videos I know probably would be very boring if you're not interested in what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, look, going forward, I do have other products I'm going to try for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. I will give maybe a little mini tour of our apartment when we move. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Bye.